Dear students, welcome to plus one biozoology classes. So in last class we discussed about asexual reproduction and what are the different types of asexual reproduction. We completed that portion. Okay. And today we are going to discuss or we are going to deal with another type of reproduction, that is called sexual reproduction. Okay. So sexual reproduction, what is the meaning of sexual reproduction? In case of sexual reproduction, this is a mode of reproduction. Here male gamete and female gamete, they fuse and they form zygote, and this zygote develop into new organism. So this is male gamete and this is female gamete. Male gamete known as sperm, female gamete known as egg. So sexual reproduction is the fusion of male gamete and female gamete. So what is the result? Zygote is formed and this zygote is developed into new organism. Okay, so you can say sexual reproduction is the fusion of male and female gametes to form a diploid zygote, and from this diploid zygote what you can see, a new organism develops. So these male gametes and female gametes, they are haploid. Haploid, you know what is haploid? These gametes, they have only half number of chromosomes. Male gamete and female gamete, they have only haploid number of chromosomes, and these haploid gametes, they fuse and they form zygote, which is diploid. Okay, they have complete set of chromosomes, and this zygote develop into a new organism. Okay, so there are two types of sexual reproduction, that is called syngamy and conjugation. Syngamy and conjugation. So we will discuss about what is syngamy and we will discuss about what is conjugation. So first of all, syngamy, symbol, fusion of male and female gametes and which form, and these gametes which are haploid, fusion of male and female gametes which form diploid zygote and which result in new organism. Okay, so higher animals you can see syngamy, but in case of conjugation you can see in microorganism like bacteria and paramecium. So such type of unicellular organisms, they show conjugation. We will discuss what is conjugation in very detail coming classes. Okay, so syngamy, which means fusion of two haploid gametes takes place and to produce a diploid zygote, and this diploid zygote form into a new organism. Okay, and there are different types of syngamy. Different types of syngamy like autogamy and anisogamy, isogamy. There are different types of syngamy present. We will discuss. So this fusion of gametes and female gametes, that is called fertilization. Okay, so fertilization means fusion of male and female gametes. This fertilization, which may be internal fertilization, or which may be external fertilization. Internal fertilization and external fertilization. So I told you what is fertilization. Fertilization means simply fusion of male and this is male gamete and this is female gamete. Fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Fertilization two types, internal and external. Internal fertilization and external fertilization. Okay, so what is the difference between internal fertilization and external fertilization? Internal fertilization means this fusion of male and female gamete that takes place inside the body of an animal. Okay, that type of fertilization is called internal fertilization. What is external fertilization? The male and female gamete, they fuse. Okay, they fuse outside the body of animal, that is called external fertilization. So, are you clear about internal fertilization and external fertilization? Okay, internal means inside. Fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete. Okay, so clear about internal and external fertilization. We discussed about external fertilization and internal fertilization. Internal fertilization example, reptiles, apes and mammals, they show internal fertilization. External fertilization example, fishes and amphibians, they show external fertilization. So there are different types of fertilization or synchrony. What are they? First one, autogamy. Autogamy. What is meaning by autogamy? Autogamy means the female gametes and male gametes, they are produced by same cell or same parent. This is the parent cell, only one single parent cell, and this single parent that produce both male gamete and female gamete, and both they fuse and they form new individual. That type of fertilization is called autogamy. So both gametes are produced by same parent and gametes. So in autogamy, a single parent, that single parent produces male and female gametes and they fuses and they form new individual. Okay, so that is called autogamy. And example, paramecium, then actinosphaerium. These are two examples for autogamy. So you are clear? Autogamy, only single parent, and that single parent produce both female and male gametes. Then what happens? Fusion of these gametes and they form new individual. Example, actinosphaerium or paramecium. Another type of syngamy, that is exogamy. Exogamy. So what is mean by exogamy? It is just opposite to autogamy. Here there are two parents. Okay, maybe male parent and female parent. And male parent produces male gamete, female parent produces female gamete, and these gametes they fuse and they form new individual. So that is called exogamy. So here gametes are produced from different parents. Male gamete produced from male gamete and female gamete produced from female gamete, and they fuse and they form new individual. That type of fertilization is called exogamy. Example, humans. Human. Okay, we are unisexual animals because male and female are separate. Okay, so we produce male gamete and female gametes in separate parents. Then another type of fertilization. So next we are going to discuss another type of fertilization, that is called hologamy. Hologamy present in lower organism which cannot form gametes. So higher organism they can produce gametes, male and female gametes. But in case of lower organism they cannot produce gametes. So what they will do? They themselves act as gametes. So this is one lower organism. This is another lower organism. They cannot produce gametes, but what they will do? They behave as gametes itself. Then what happens? They will fuse and they form new individual. That type of fertilization is called hologamy. Okay, clear? So here in lower organisms, the individuals, parent individuals, they cannot form gametes, but themselves they act as gametes and they fuse and they form new organisms. Example in case of trichonympha, hologamy example, trichonympha. The next type of fertilization, that is pedogamy. Pedogamy. Pedogamy means one organism, okay, which produces younger individuals, and these younger individuals, they fuse and they form new other organism. So after forming one organism which produces younger individuals, immediately these younger individuals, they fuse and they form new individuals. That type of fertilization is called pedogamy. Clear? So it is one organism which produces young individuals or daughter cells, daughter individuals. Immediately these daughter individuals, they fuse and form new individual. And another type of sexual reproduction, that is called merogamy. Merogamy present. Merogamy. What is mean by merogamy? Merogamy means it is a fusion of small size morphologically dissimilar gametes. Okay, small size morphologically dissimilar gametes, that is called merogamy. Understood? And another type of fertilization, that is called isogamy. Iso means same, similar. Isogamy means it is the fusion of morphologically similar gametes. It is the fusion of morphologically similar gametes, that is called isogamy. The next type of fertilization, the last one, anisogamy. Anisogamy means aniso means dissimilar. Anisogamy. It is the fusion of morphologically dissimilar gametes, that is called anisogamy. This is small size one gamete and this is large size another gamete. They are morphologically dissimilar and they fuse and form their new individual. So such type of fertilization, fusion of gametes, is called anisogamy. So we discussed about autogamy and hologamy and exogamy and pedogamy and merogamy, isogamy and anisogamy. So these are the different types of fertilization or syngamy. Another type of sexual reproduction, that is called conjugation. Conjugation means temporary union of individuals of same species. When we already studied bacteria in +1 class. At that time we discussed about reproduction in bacteria. So this word you might have heard in that session, conjugation. So we studied in that first chapter in biobotany that bacteria, they share their DNA fragments through conjugation tube. One bacterium and another bacterium, they come and together. Okay, two bacteria come and together, they form a conjugation tube, and through this conjugation tube from one bacterium, one DNA fragments goes to another bacterium. Okay, so such type of reproduction is called conjugation. Okay, so this is an individual and this is another individual. They have DNA fragments, and when they come together they form a tube, conjugation tube. A copy of DNA fragment go from one individual to another individual, and when this individual goes, this individual's DNA, then they separate. Okay, so that is called conjugation. Next we are going to look sexual phases of life cycle. An organism which has 3 phases in their life cycle. Each organism, they have life cycle, starting from vegetative phase or juvenile phase, and juvenile phase, then after juvenile phase that organism enter into reproductive phase. Okay, so juvenile phase time period in between after birth till reproductive phase, that time period is called juvenile phase. Then after, then they, when they enter into reproductive phase, they much matured and they are reproductively more active, and they produce their offsprings and their children. In which phase? In reproductive phase. Then after reproductive phase, they enter into senescence phase. Senescence phase, finally what happens? Death. So this is 3 phases of life cycle. And organisms and animals, there are 2 types: seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Seasonal breeders means the animals, they produce their offsprings, their children, at a particular time period, at a particular season. Okay, they are called seasonal breeders. So most of the birds are example for seasonal breeders, birds. And continuous breeders, that means they produce their offsprings, their children, all the time period, in all the season. Example, honeybees are example. You can find out more examples, and these are about seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Okay. Next we are going to discuss what is mean by natural parthenogenesis. Natural parthenogenesis, we told this parthenogenesis, we already know what is parthenogenesis. From female gamete egg, directly new individuals are forming. So natural parthenogenesis occur naturally. There are 2 types: complete natural parthenogenesis and incomplete natural parthenogenesis. In complete natural parthenogenesis, there are no male parents, no male organism, only female organism or female parent present, only female parent, and this female parent directly produces their daughters or new individuals. So that is called new individuals or daughters. That is called complete parthenogenesis. So incomplete parthenogenesis, no male organism, only female organism formed, and this female organism produce new individuals. Incomplete parthenogenesis, incomplete means here you can see both sexual reproduction and also parthenogenesis. Sexual reproduction also present and also parthenogenesis also present. So such type of parthenogenesis is called incomplete parthenogenesis. For example, honeybees. Okay, honeybees, they produced by sexual reproduction and also by parthenogenesis. You know, worker bees and queen bees, worker bees and queen bees, they are produced from where? They produced from fertilized eggs. Fertilized eggs means they are produced by sexual reproduction. Okay. So from the fertilized eggs, worker bees and queen bees produce as part of sexual reproduction. But male bees or drones, male bees are called drones. Male bees are produced from unfertilized eggs. Okay, that means they are produced by parthenogenesis. So incomplete parthenogenesis, example, honeybee. Then another type of parthenogenesis, that is called pedoparthenogenesis. Pedogenic parthenogenesis or pedogenesis. Pedogenic parthenogenesis. In pedogenic parthenogenesis means pedo, which is related to children, okay, young ones. One organism which produces larvae, and this larvae which produces next generations of larvae. That is called pedogenic or pedogenic parthenogenesis. In this, the larvae produces new generation of larvae by parthenogenesis. So this is one organism that organism produce, it is larvae, and again from this larvae another generation of larvae are produced. Such type of parthenogenesis are called pedogenic. Example, sporocyst, larvae and sporocyst larvae, and also Redia larvae of liver fluke. Sporocyst and Redia larvae of liver fluke. So they produce larvae first, and this larvae again produce next generations of larvae. That is pedogenic parthenogenesis. Then last type of parthenogenesis, that is artificial parthenogenesis. Artificial parthenogenesis. What is mean by artificial parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis occur by artificially. So next we are going to discuss artificial parthenogenesis. In artificial parthenogenesis, in artificial parthenogenesis, we have an unfertilized egg. Unfertilized egg. Okay. And we induce this unfertilized egg using chemical or physical stimuli. That is, we will do some we will use some chemicals, and we will induce this unfertilized egg to produce new individuals, new daughter individuals. Okay, so naturally this is not possible, but here we are using chemical and physical stimuli, and we will induce this unfertilized egg to produce new individuals. That is called artificial parthenogenesis. For example, in case of annelids and also in case of sea urchin eggs, we have observed this artificial parthenogenesis. Next, there are three types of animals. What are those three types of animals? You know, some animals like birds, they produce eggs, but some animals they do not produce. What are those animals? We can call them as oviparous animals, viviparous animals, and ovoviviparous animals. Okay, so based on the site of development of embryo and based on production of eggs or not, animals are classified into three types: oviparous, viviparous, and ovoviviparous. Okay, so what is mean by oviparous? Oviparous animals, they lay eggs, and inside the eggs what you can see, embryo development you can see, and this embryo they are developed inside the egg and they are protected by calcareous shell. Okay, so birds and reptiles, they produce eggs like this. And in case of amphibians and fishes, they have no this type of calcareous shell, but instead they have a single membrane, and that membrane protects the developing embryo. But in case of viviparous animal, this embryo development takes place inside their body. Oviparous animal development takes place outside the mother body. But in case of viviparous, the development of embryo takes place inside the mother body's uterus. Okay, and the embryo developed inside the uterus, and this embryo has a connection with mother body. That connection is called placenta. Through this placenta, this embryo gets all the nutrients from mother body. For mammals, most of the mammals like humans, they are viviparous animals. Then next one is ovoviviparous. These animals, they produce eggs, but they keep these eggs in mother body till the time of hatching. Okay, then after they release these eggs from mother body outside. These animals embryo development takes place inside this egg, but they are different from viviparous. These ovoviviparous animals, they don't have placenta like connections, and these animals embryo, they take the nutrients from egg yolks. Okay, they have no placenta, so they take the nutrient. The developing embryo take the nutrient from egg yolk. Example, shark, they are ovoviviparous animals. That means they produce the egg, okay, but they keep this egg inside their body and till the time of hatching. Then after they release these eggs and young ones. Okay, so these are the different types of animals: oviparous, viviparous, and ovoviviparous.